Welcome back to another episode of Reality Hits Matt. I'm your host, Michelle.
And I'm Matt.
This is a podcast where I watch reality TV and my husband reacts. This week, we'll be talking about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Season 1, Episode 5.
All right, past the halfway point of this season, huh?
Past the halfway point.
Awesome.
Did you want to give us a quick recap of last week?
Sure. Didn't seem to be too much going on last week. A lot of drama, but I think the episode really just hinged around Mayci's party, their getaway weekend in
Park City,
Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess you told me it starts out, they're heading out in 2 different cars, all 8 Mormon wives. We were kind of wondering what the dynamic was going to be. It wasn't just the 4 saints and the 4 sinners. There was a little mix-up there. Michaela was with the sinners, and Layla was with the saints. Mm-hmm. That was the cars. Not too much drama, I guess, on the way out. They get there. They're settling in. It sounds like everybody's doing all right. Not a lot of drama at first. They're talking about, appreciating Mayci and what they love about her. And then Demi has an activity for everybody. It was a truth box.
Yep.
So they had to put questions in that were written anonymously, and then whoever they were geared toward had to answer them.
Yes.
All right. So one of the questions was geared towards Whitney. She was asked why she doesn't like Taylor. And I think the gist of her answer was that Taylor was kind of forgiven for everything that she's done, the swinging scandal and all that. But Whitney was saying that she still gets a lot of shit for the RSV video.
Yep.
Which I guess was a mom talk thing. Her son was very sick in the hospital. And she wasn't posting content. And then she did this video with her son in it in the hospital. You showed me it last week.
Yeah, I did show you it.
It's pretty crazy. I see why she gets shit for that. All right. And then another, I guess, one of these things from the truth box was asking Demi if she called Jen too Mormon. And that sparked a lot of outrage. Jen was upset. Demi was trying to play it off like Whitney, and I think somebody else was also there saying that, I guess, Whitney and Mayci, she's like, I didn't say that, or I said it and you guys agreed to it or something.
Right.
When they were saying they didn't. So there was a lot of drama there. With that, Whitney and Taylor go upstairs to talk, I guess, to settle their drama, their back and forth. It sounded like you were telling me they were having a pretty good conversation.
It seemed like it.
Like things
It was civil.
Yeah, possibly working out. Maybe could, be working together better in the future. All the other girls were, I guess this was in a loft, so all the other girls were downstairs listening, and Demi was, I guess, saying that Taylor was being too nice to Whitney or something, and went up and just caused a shitload of more drama. And then that just spilled over. I think Whitney hid in the closet crying. And then next thing you know, they go out to dinner.
Yeah.
For Mayci's birthday. I don't think there was much drama there. I know you were saying that Whitney was hiding in the bathroom. The producers were like, are you all right? And she's like, I just need a minute.
Yeah.
And then she came out and she had toilet paper on her foot.
Yeah.
Which you said they didn't say anything about. They just showed it, which is kind of weird, but
yeah,
I guess it gets the people talking.
Yeah. So the clip that I shared to our Instagram, which was that clip that you saw.
Right.
And it shows the toilet paper. So like, that caption over it that says "Mom talk is getting messy with a toilet paper," that was from like Hulu, like Secret Lives of Mormon Wives Hulu, like their official account. Like they posted that.
Oh, so they're like, oh, this is good. Let's use this shit.
So like they did it so they could like advertise, like
right.
So, yeah.
No, none of the girls saw it or made fun of her for it, but Hulu's cashing in on it.
Yeah. So
interesting. All right. Did I leave anything out? Did I forget anything important?
No, I mean, there's comments made, a lot of like hurtful things said between the girls, but some of that gets hashed out this episode. So we'll get into more of that. But yeah, that was a gist. Just felt like Demi was like really just starting shit with a bunch of people.
Just out to get everybody.
Just like, yeah, like it wasn't a great look for her in my opinion. I think she thinks that she's the shit. And she's not. So we see more of that this episode.
Tell me about it.
All right, so season 1, episode 5 starts with the girls returning from their trip from Mayci's getaway birthday weekend.
Okay.
And they're all catching up with either their significant others or family members. Mayci is telling Jacob her husband. Michaela's telling her husband all the shit that went down. Whitney is at her mom's house, and Whitney and her mom are talking about everything that happened, and Demi, like, attacking her, and Whitney feeling like none of them are really truly her friends. Her mom agrees that these aren't real friends and that she needs to figure out how she moves forward with her relationships with them, but like these aren't people that she should really be hanging out with. Right. So Whitney's mom is not a fan. Jen is telling Zach all the shit that went down, and then Taylor and Dakota are like walking through the park talking. Dakota asks Taylor, does Taylor think that this past weekend has changed her relationships with the girls? And Taylor responded that she definitely feels like it's making her second guess some of her friendships and some of the people and some of the things that have been said or done. So she's like, I feel like I don't really have any real friends, and you're probably my only friend. And so he's like, well, you're my only friend. So all the girls are like really on edge and like not really sure where mom talk stands.
Right.
And Demi is talking with her mom, Jeanette. So this is the first time we've seen Demi's mom.
What's Demi have to say? Being a bitch the whole weekend, and then she's coming off as the victim again?
Well, kind of. Like, Demi... well, Demi always says that that's Whitney. Like, Whitney plays the victim. Okay. And she doesn't want to, like, play into Whitney playing the victim.
Yeah.
But we get into it more throughout this episode. I really just think Whitney's over it. Like, I really just think she's like, I don't want to do this, but because she probably has a contract with Hulu, she has to be around these people and like
forced into it.
Yeah, so it's like I feel like she actually like just wants to like leave and not have to deal with this shit, but like they keep like dragging her back into it. I feel like Demi is the one that plays the victim and wants to like be coddled sometimes, but that's just my opinion. So Demi is telling her mom that all the girls were attacking her over the weekend. And in an interview, she says that mom talk is very fractured at the moment and they don't know where the girls stand. And her mom doesn't really say much. It was just like, oh yeah, like that sucks. Like that's really shitty. Right. So I don't know. It didn't really go into detail with all their conversation. It was just kind of like everyone's attitude is like that weekend was terrible. And that weekend was a shit show.
That sucks for Mayci. For her birthday.
Yeah. When Mayci says it to her husband, he goes, oh boy, I'll get the popcorn. So yeah, I guess maybe a little bit expected. We go into the intro song, and I'm realizing that I think Taylor, they filmed the intro when she was pregnant. Like she like looks pregnant, and I didn't realize that till just now.
Oh, that's weird.
So definitely the first episode they filmed, she wasn't pregnant. They were still like getting all this stuff together as the season, but so I realized
the first episode didn't have the same intro scene?
No, it did. Okay. So they filmed it like later on and then like used it throughout the whole season.
Okay, so they filmed it because that episode took place over a long period of time,
right?
And then
so they were probably still deciding like,
together,
can we even like do this show? Because for 11 months they filmed one episode and then they came back for the second.
Yeah.
So they were probably trying to figure out their production because of Taylor. So she was pregnant when they filmed that intro.
Right.
So that just hit me when
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a little thing that I noticed. So we go to Swig, which is one of the soda shops in town.
Some dirty sodas.
Demi, Jessi, and Layla go to get their soda fix. Jessi points out like on the door that there's a Fruity Pebble Rice Krispie being advertised, and she turns to Demi and says, oh look, Whitney was here, as a joke, and they all like laugh. And then Demi orders the Rice Krispie treat.
The Fruity Pebble Rice Krispie treat. Okay.
So gives a little new meaning, especially when you know what the Fruity Pebbles means. So.
Gotcha.
Don't even want to think about it. It's disgusting. Demi and Layla order a 44-ounce soda, which I was like, that is a lot. And Layla says in an interview that she at least has one 44-ounce soda 6 out of the 7 days of the week.
Oh, wow. Now there's ice in there, right?
So there's ice.
That cup includes the ice, so they're not drinking 44 straight ounces of soda.
I know, that's still a lot, though.
Yeah, it's a good bit.
A big cup. Demi's order is 44 ounces of sparkling water, sugar-free coconut, sugar-free vanilla, sugar-free raspberry, sugar-free pineapple, and coconut cream.
Okay, well, it's all sugar-free.
That combination sounds like ass. You can't tell me that coconut, vanilla, raspberry, and pineapple go good together.
Yeah, probably not.
Like, that's disgusting. I don't know what the other girls order because they called it by, like, the name on the menu board.
Okay.
Yeah, but Demi, like, spells out her order like in an interview, and she goes chef's kiss, and I'm like, that makes me want to throw up. Like, I don't think I would ever like that. They're talking about how Layla is throwing herself a divorce party that week. The three girls are wondering if Whitney will show up to the party. Demi says that Whitney doesn't go to anything that's uncomfortable, so she probably won't. And Layla says that this party's for her, and they're still friends in her opinion. So if Whitney doesn't go, she'll be upset, and her mentality would be like, Whitney needs to grow up if she doesn't show up. It comes up that after the trip, she left their group text. So the girls say that after the trip, Whitney blocked Demi on TikTok and Instagram.
Oh, jeez.
And left the group chat and didn't say anything to anyone. Just pieced out. And then they show like a screenshot of like Layla talking about her divorce party and people saying they're excited. And then it just says Whitney Levitt has left the group.
Whitney has left the group.
So Whitney has said sayonara to this group and just wants peace.
Dang.
I guess Demi tried to send her a voice note through text, but she thinks she probably got blocked. So she doesn't know if Whitney heard her voice note. But they don't...
Well, she blocked her on social media, so she probably blocked her phone number as well.
Yeah, so they don't say what was in the voice note. I'd be curious of that, because it wasn't like, oh, I was trying to, like, make amends. Like, are you just, like, talking more shit to her? Like, like, what's in this voice note? So they're not sure if she got the voice note or not. So Jessi's talking about Whitney and everything she's done. She says she's not fully shocked about her blocking Demi because she makes a very emotional decisions, but she is surprised that she did leave the group chat, because that is a very public FU to everyone in the group.
Right.
Jessi thinks that Whitney did it to ruffle some feathers, and Whitney wanted to see who would check on her after she did it.
Oh, okay.
So Jessi thinks that this is like an attention grab, and she doesn't want to play into it.
Yeah.
So that was said in an interview. But back in the Swig soda shop, Jessi says that this weekend was a breakthrough moment that could have gone the other way, but it didn't, because she didn't own up to anything that she did. And this is where I started getting confused, because it seems like Demi is just not acknowledging that she did anything wrong. Right. And so everything is like, Whitney should have apologized to me. Whitney should have owned up to what she did. Whitney. And I get that she went and told someone else what you said to her. But, like, other than that, what did she do?
To Demi?
Yeah.
Right.
All she did was she went and told Jen what you said because you were being a piece of shit.
Right.
So, well, like...
The episode before, though, was the Demi's Galentine's with the gift, the box of fruity cereal, and then Whitney tried to be a victim after that.
Okay. You're right. I'll give her that. I will give her that. Demi says that if someone has a problem with her, it's their responsibility to come talk to her. She doesn't want to cater to this victim mentality that she's been seeing from Whitney. So Demi kind of says she's done dealing with Whitney. She doesn't want to deal with it anymore. They bring up going to a rage room or like a paintball thing. And then Demi asks if she should invite Whitney. So I'm confused where it's like, I don't want to cater to this. Should I invite her? So I get you're still trying to be inclusive, but it's like, make up your mind. Jessi points out, well, if you were to invite everyone, where would you put it in the group chat? And she left the group chat. So, like, it's really not our responsibility to, like, reach out. Jessi in an interview said that Taylor and Whitney both have these alpha personalities, and there's been a power struggle with who's the leader of the group. Jessi asks that now Whitney has left the group chat and Taylor doesn't really care. Is Demi the new queen bee?
Oh, jeez.
Demi says that oftentimes she does feel like the voice of the group because she's willing to say uncomfortable things and call people out. And Jessi says that she thinks Demi would be a better leader than the two of them.
Okay.
Then it cuts to an interview where Taylor, would the producers tell her this? And she goes, sure, not true, but sure. And then that's it. And then it cuts back out.
Nice.
Taylor does not agree with that statement. Demi in an interview says that she doesn't care to be the queen bee or the leader, but if Mom Talk is going to survive, they need to do like a regroup in a sense of like where they want Mom Talk to be and bring it back to what it started, which is what Whitney wanted to do originally. So
right.
Okay, cool, do it without Whitney. I feel like you just don't like Whitney. And it cuts back to the soda shop. This entire conversation, let me point out, Layla is very quiet.
Okay.
So she's not saying anything. Jessi and Demi, I feel like, are on their own little island together during this episode.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is like, what the fuck is going on? Like, just like not really sure. And it's just Jessi and Demi like making stuff up. I don't know. That was just my like thoughts this entire episode. So Jessi thinks that Whitney wanted the group so bad and that it was cringy that she wanted to be the leader so bad. Demi said that if Whitney were a true follower of Christ, you would seek to understand people and forgive and move forward. This girl just pisses me off more and more.
Coming from Demi.
Yeah. Like, you called someone white trash. How is that seeking to understand someone? And then I wrote, I think it's gaggy that she's bringing up religion. Just because she thinks it's gaggy when Jen doesn't.
Yeah.
Jessi says Whitney is stubborn and she's over it and declares Demi the new leader of the cult. And then they laugh.
Per Jessi. Okay.
Per Jessi. No, and no one else from the group is at. There's the two of them making this decision that now Demi's this new leader, and it's like, don't understand where that came from. We cut to Whitney and Connor's house. Whitney is making homemade graham crackers with her kids, and Mayci calls Whitney. Mayci in an interview says that after the girls' trip, it was such a shit show, and she wants to talk to Whitney about it and make sure that she feels loved and supported. She says that Whitney can be a loose cannon and she can't predict her next move. So Macy's kind of like, I'm not sure what Whitney's going to do next. Mayci asks Whitney how she feels about the Mom Talk group and if they should get the band back together. Macy's on speakerphone and it's zoomed in on her, but she keeps like smiling off camera and I couldn't tell who she was with. I don't know if it was like a producer like egging her on to ask her certain questions or if it was like another Mom Talk girl that was there that like Whitney didn't know that she was on speaker, but it was weird because like Mayci like kept like looking at someone when she was talking on the phone.
Yeah, that's shitty if you're gonna put somebody on speaker and not tell them and somebody else is
right. I mean, you're still like on camera.
Yeah,
like,
I mean
so,
it's
like,
reality TV, so everything's being recorded.
But I was just curious. I'm like, I wonder who she's like looking at.
Yeah, it's weird that they didn't show it.
Yeah,
but you caught that.
Yeah, it probably was a producer.
Yeah.
So when she asked that, like, should we get the band back together? Whitney said, let's be real. Are we actually genuine friends or has it all been transactional friendships where something is needed? Whitney says it would be interesting to see if they would all be friends if they hadn't met on social media. So she's like, if we hadn't met on social media to start this, like, would we actually be friends in real life?
So they've all met through social media? Yeah. Okay, so none of them like childhood friends or met in church or...
Right.
All social media. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
So all of them met on social media, formed this group, and then Mayci says, yes, at the beginning it was transactional because we were creating TikToks.
Yeah.
But she says after the swinging scandal, so the way Mayci was talking made it seem like it was like a bigger group before the swinging scandal. And she said the girls that were left after the swinging scandal, she felt like that group, like these 8, were friends and like, yeah, and had each other's back and like wanted to still like be in each other's lives.
Yeah.
And Whitney disagrees. So Whitney is like, I don't think that's the case. And then Mayci goes, well, so you don't want to hang out with me because we met through social media? And then Whitney like pauses. She goes, well, no, that's different. I thought like you met as a whole group. So Whitney still thinks Macy's a good friend, but as a group, she's like, I don't want to,
Just Mayci, nobody else.
Pretty much. Even though Whitney later keeps saying like, no one called me. It's like, well, Mayci called you. But I think
Mayci just called you.
I think she means like outside of Mayci sometimes when she says that.
Right.
I think she means like the bigger group.
Right.
I really do think that because she does answer Macy's call. She does talk to Mayci. Like, so I'm not sure. Whitney said to Mayci on the phone, she thinks that everyone's competitive, jealous, and rude to each other. And then that's just not a true friendship. Whitney thinks that this is all mutual. So Whitney says that it's mutual because no one wants to be her friend either. And then she says the F word out loud. And then Connor, because her kids are around, are like, hey. And then she's like, oh, sorry. And then later on, she starts saying the F word again and then like catches herself and then says like effing. And then like Macy's like laughing on the phone, like on the other line. So it's kind of funny. Mayci says she feels like she's trying to make Whitney like make amends with everyone because she loves Whitney. And she thinks that Whitney acts like she doesn't care, but in reality, she cares more than anyone. And again, this is like Whitney is trying to leave the group and then she's being like sucked back in.
Right.
And I get Mayci doesn't want to exclude her, but it's like she's trying to separate herself. Like she doesn't want the drama. She doesn't want to talk to these girls. And it's like she's not talking shit behind their back. She just wants to be done with it. Whereas like Demi and Jessi are over there talking shit about Whitney. Whitney's not leaving and talking shit about Demi and Jessi.
Right. But does Whitney want to leave she left the group chat, which you think could be possibly for attention to see who reaches out. So it's like, Does she genuinely want to leave? Is she just stuck in this reality TV show contract?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, it seems like she just didn't want to like see the text because she was upset that everyone at dinner was just acting like nothing happened.
Right.
And so she's probably seeing like in that group chat, everyone's like, "Yeah, excited," and I get it's to support Layla, but like again, it's like everyone's just acting like nothing happened. So she's probably like, I just need to go. But yeah, I could see where it could be for attention. I just really, I don't know. I really just think that there's more to it. Whitney says she's not gonna force. This is when she like almost swears again. She goes, "I'm not gonna force anyone to effing listen to me." So she's just gonna walk away because it's not worth it. So Whitney in an interview says that she doesn't think that there would be a mom talk if she wasn't there. And I was thinking about this when Jessi was declaring Demi the leader.
Right.
Neither of them are the original. Because the original is Taylor, Whitney, Mayci, and Michaela.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to take over a group that you weren't originally a part of. And if you were going to be, quote unquote, the new leader, would you not want to have like Mayci and Michaela's backup? Like their approval, because they're kind of like the last two standing OGs that want to be a part of the group.
Right, yeah, you think you would need their approval.
So that threw me for a loop. So we cut to Jen and Zach's house. Taylor and Dakota are coming over to Jen's house. Jen in an interview says she feels responsible for the divided mom talk because she didn't invite 4 of the girls to the baby shower.
The baby blessing.
The baby blessing. Thank you. So she really feels like that kind of started this big wedge, and then like the drama escalated from that.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, there was the baby shower right before that, which with Whitney not going, that kind of started that, and then the baby blessing, probably did drive the wedge, gave you the sinners and saints. Yeah.
So she hopes that by inviting Taylor and Dakota over, they can squash part of that and move on and be friends. Like, she wants to repair this divide that she caused by, kind of making amends with Taylor as a first step.
Okay.
So Taylor and Dakota are coming over as a baby boot camp for Dakota because this is his first kid.
Oh, he has no kids yet.
Right.
So this is like right after the Park City trip. So Taylor's still like pregnant, still very pregnant.
She says that she's about 4 weeks from her due date.
Okay.
Yeah, and she is pregnant. So they go over, and Taylor says that the stress of the weekend was messing with her pregnancy. So I think she was like really stressed, which probably caused her to like have some like fake contractions or something, because like stress can do that.
Yeah.
So she's taking a break from the group and a step back because it's not fair for her baby or herself.
Definitely fair.
So this is kind of like one of her outings this episode, and then she doesn't really go to anything else after.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's fair. You're about to have a baby.
So they start their crash course. Dakota's holding Jen and Zach's son, their new baby. This was really funny. So he's holding the son, and they're like, okay, now make a bottle because you're gonna be holding him and trying to make a bottle. And then Jen's like, the baby's probably gonna be crying too when you're trying to do this. So she like brings out her phone and like starts playing like a baby crying noise. She goes, you gotta like rock him, like, and so like they're trying to make it like this high stress like thing. Yeah. So he makes the bottle. Then he has to change a diaper. So he changes the diaper, and then he's like trying to put the pants on, and he's like holding her son like to the side and like trying to like pull up the pants with him. And finally like Taylor steps in and like grabs his butt because she's like, you're gonna drop him. Then they have him suction out boogers out of his nose.
Ew, so gross.
And at the end of it, you hear Dakota go, I almost just threw up. So then after they were talking about like having a newborn, Zach was asking Dakota, do you feel ready for it? Are you stressed? He's like, I'm excited, but people keep telling me how you don't sleep a lot. And he was like, yeah, it's bad. You're going to be tired. And he goes, and your like wife is going to, for the next 3 months, going to be tired. And then Taylor corrects him and goes, girlfriend. And Dakota was like, no, you can say wife. And like they're like making a joke about it, and Jen's like, put a ring on it. And then Taylor's like, he's trying. And so Taylor in an interview says she's just not ready for marriage with Dakota.
Okay.
She's just not there yet, and she is not going to be pressured into getting married just because she's pregnant.
Right.
So that kind of ends like that scene with them. It cuts to a tattoo shop, and Jen and Layla and Demi go to the tattoo shop. So Layla has a small tattoo on her ankle, and it's 2 dots, and it represented her and her husband. And so since she's getting a divorce, she wanted to cover them up.
Okay.
So she ends up turning the dots into like 2 little stars.
Okay. So wait a second. So Mormons can get tattoos?
No.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I didn't know if this went along with the Botox.
No, so
it was okay.
Jen in an interview says that it's not really a traditional thing for Mormons to even be in a tattoo parlor, but she says she'll do anything for Layla and support her. Jen thinks it's courageous for her to walk away from a marriage in the LDS church, and she supports her for doing what's best for her. So she's just there for support. She's not getting a tattoo.
Okay.
And Layla has the tattoo, and it's very small. Like, it's very tiny. It's really cute. Layla wants to get a tattoo for her sister, and even though they're not close. So Layla explains that her and her sister have kind of always been like ships passing, where it's like she's going through a divorce, her sister's getting married this year. They're always like at different parts of their life where like they can't really connect.
Okay.
And she explains that she's not close with her family at all. So she didn't really have that family bond, which is probably, she thinks, why she joined the church at such a young age, because she got that structure.
All right. She's the one that was young with all the friends that were Mormon. Yeah. So at 16, she joined the church?
At 16, she joined the church, and at 19, she got married.
Okay.
And at 19, she got married, she explains, because she was pregnant. And so through the church, there was a lot of pressure to get married and to do, she's like, we already kind of did things out of step, and the one way to correct it was to get married. And then so like I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, this is exactly what like Taylor's going through right now, not at such a young age, but the pressure of getting married and like correcting your wrong, basically.
Right, just because you're pregnant.
Right.
Yeah, take a step back.
Right. Yeah. So Layla opens up a lot about her family life and like going into that so quickly. And she's just how she's like, I'm ready to move on, and I want to, you know, start over and do what's best for me. And so she explains to the girl that she wants to have this divorce party and it have funeral vibes. So that's what is coming up later.
In this episode?
Yeah.
The funeral divorce party is coming up? Okay.
Yeah. So she wants it to be kind of like saying sayonara to her last name and like moving on. So
okay.
Demi asks Layla, what's the plan with dating, and is she putting a pause on it, or does she want to find her man? I'm like, this seems like a lot. Like, she's in the middle of a divorce.
Here, let's have the funeral first.
Right? So coming up later, I feel like I know why Demi's asking this, because Jessi's husband's friend, they're like trying to set her up with someone.
Okay.
So it comes up a little bit later,
Gotcha.
So we'll talk about it. But yeah, I'm like this seems
pump the brakes.
Seems like a lot. Layla says that she is gonna take it day by day, but if she does find her man, then that is what it is. She just doesn't want to rush anything. She's like, I feel like I constantly rush things. I don't want to rush anything. And then what does Demi do? Turn around and be like, here's a man. Like, I don't know. Demi says that she's excited for Layla and the next chapter of her life. And she's not just saying that because she is someone who's divorced. So comes out that I guess Demi's divorced, which I don't think we knew previously. So out of the 8 girls, 3 of them have been divorced, because Taylor's divorced, Demi got divorced, and now Layla's getting divorced.
Layla. Okay.
Demi says in an interview that it is very normal in the Mormon church to say in a marriage that just to make it work, but it's nice having the support of like mom talk to really let women do bold things. So she's proud of Layla. So we're at Axe and Smash. Demi, Michaela, Mayci, Layla, and Jessi go to what I thought was going to be a rage room. Ended up being a paint room. They're throwing paint on the walls, and Mayci says that she doesn't want to wear the orange smock because it will look like she's going to jail, and then says, too bad Taylor's not here. She could have it. Michaela ends up wearing the orange one, but I thought that was funny. Mayci said that she's having a great time, but she's sad that Whitney isn't there.
Yeah.
So she really does. Mayci really thinks that mom talk needs Whitney.
Yeah.
Like, she is under the impression that I think she would agree, like, mom talk wouldn't be a thing without Whitney, and that she's sad when Whitney isn't there. So she is being a really good friend to Whitney, which is cool to see, because all the other girls
maybe like
talk
the
shit
only
about
actual friendship, maybe.
I would say so.
Yeah.
As much as, like, I gave Mayci shit for, like, saying to Taylor, oh, I'll tell you who your fake friends are, Mayci has started to redeem herself a little bit in my eyes. She definitely, like, sticks up for Whitney and Taylor, I think. And she does seem like a little bit more of the I'm not going to talk shit just to talk shit. Like, and she usually says stuff to your face if she doesn't agree with it.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
So Mayci has gotten points back in my head. Demi's gone down the shitter. I'm mad that I called Demi mature in the one episode. So now it cuts between, like, paintball and Whitney's house, if that makes sense. So Whitney shows the photo of them at the paint splatter place to Connor. So they posted it on social media.
Oh, okay. So I got you.
And she goes, it looks like everyone but Taylor was there. And he goes, oh, I'm curious why Taylor wasn't invited. And then Whitney goes, well, it's probably because she's pregnant. Whitney says, I'm not pregnant, though, even though I'd like to be. And I was like, oh, shit. Okay, Whitney. And then Connor asks why she thinks she didn't get invited, and Whitney says, well, I know why I didn't get invited. It's because I left the group chat. So she's not like, she's not like in La La Land.
Yeah,
like, she's
why didn't I get an invite?
She's upset though. So she's mad that no one reached out after she left.
Right.
So I was like, okay, it is kind of playing into Jessi's thought of needing attention when she left. She goes on to explain, she goes, like, I don't need someone to reach out. It's just if someone else had done it, I would have called them and I would have checked in with them.
Okay.
That is her stance, which I can kind of relate to. When you are the type of person that cares deeply and, like, wants to check in with people and then you don't get that in return, like, that can be a draining friendship. Like, when you're always the one, like, if that's the case, which it comes out later that is the case, is that Whitney is always the one to reach out to people. So I feel like that's a really shitty thing for these girls to shit on Whitney and say that she just wants attention to be called when she would be the first to turn around and call you. So, I don't know, that pissed me off. It cuts back to the paintball place, and Jessi goes, I have a message for Whitney, and she writes bitch on the wall. And Demi's encouraging her in the back.
What the hell?
I'm like, just in that moment, you didn't even need to bring up her name. You didn't have to. Right. You're all having fun. You're all enjoying your time together. She's not there. And then you're just going to go and do that? Like, that's immature.
Yeah, you're talking shit behind her back, but it's all being recorded, so she's going to know about it.
I mean, Jessi does tell her later that everyone talks shit about her, so, I mean, including herself, I guess, because she's like, everyone here talks shit about you. Whitney says that it's not a secret that she cares what people thinks about her, and she thinks that people take advantage of that.
Okay.
She says that the thought goes through her mind that, and I can also relate to this too, is like, you, like, make up stuff in your head that may not even be true, but then it, like, bothers you.
Yeah.
So she's like, I feel like they posted that because they knew I would see it. That is going through my mind right now, is that they posted that so I would see it and know that they're all together and I'm not there. Right.
She wasn't invited. They're all having fun without her.
Right. Yeah. So even though it probably was like an innocent post and the person who posted it probably wasn't trying to do that, and I get it.
Yeah, you
like,
never know, though.
It's part of being human. You never know. But, like, as a whole, like, you left the group chat. You weren't invited to it. You did that. So it cuts to Mayci pulling boxes out of her car. And she goes, where's my husband when I needed him? And I kind of laughed because it's so true. Like, you can do it on your own. But it's like, man, it would be really nice if your husband was there. So she's opening a store. And so she has her own business, which I thought was cool, and it's called Baby Mama, and it's for, I think, prenatal and postnatal supplements for women for postpartum and prenatals for during your pregnancy.
Okay.
So she's having a photo shoot to take photos for her business. So she has a couple pregnant women there, so she invites Taylor. So she goes, oh, this would be perfect. She's pregnant. I want to make her feel like she's a part of the group.
Yeah.
She's been kind of like separating herself a little bit lately, but I'm going to invite her in so she feels comfortable and welcomed back by the group. Taylor pulls up and Dakota gets out of the car. And Macy's like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't invite him. This is for girls. I'm trying to work. Yeah. And Mayci feels like Dakota just follows Taylor around like a little puppy and she can't do anything on her own. Well, it turns out Taylor asked Dakota to come because she wants Mayci and Dakota to talk it out.
Oh, right.
And but it's like you showed up at someone's business while they're working.
Yeah, you're there for like a photo shoot.
So Mayci goes, this isn't the time.
It's not the time, yeah.
And so she goes, maybe tomorrow. I have to drop something off at your house anyway. So she acknowledges it, but like she goes, this isn't the time or place. I'm working. I need to be directing this. I can't focus if I'm trying to have a tough conversation over here. So she goes, this ain't the time or place. So they're doing the photo shoot. Taylor is like killing it. She looks really good. She has cute outfits on. And then Dakota goes, can I take photos with Taylor to have like some professional shots? And Mayci, like, what are you going to say? Like, no. So she goes, okay. And Mayci goes, like this is not what this is for. Like, I'm paying for these photos. They're for my business. And he takes off his shirt. I don't know if someone told him to do that, but he just like whips off his shirt. Mayci says that this is not getting her, like, this is not getting brownie points with her. Like, she goes, this is not helping with my thoughts. Yeah, so Macy's like, what the fuck? That ends that scene right there. Now we're at the divorce party. And let me tell you, so it's like in a club.
Okay.
She hired a DJ. They have projections all over the wall that says R.I.P. Mrs. Layla Wessler, her married name. And then it says 2019 to 2023. And like, it's like you're at a funeral.
Yeah,
and so all the girls start showing up, and Layla explains that this is like kissing her last name goodbye. The girls are talking that Taylor can't come because she can't be in a bar or club. So I know she's pregnant.
Right.
But that doesn't mean she can't enter in it. So I Googled it. I'm like, maybe in Utah there's a law.
Maybe, yeah, Utah.
No, it's not, because that would be considered discrimination. She just can't consume alcohol. Like, they can't serve a pregnant lady alcohol. Then I'm like, well, maybe it's like a Mormon rule that pregnant women. I think it's part of her probation.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's on probation from the arrest.
Yeah.
That makes sense, yeah.
So I think that's why she couldn't come to this party, because of her probation. After I did a little bit of digging on that. So the girls start showing up, everyone's there, and then Whitney and Connor show up. And Demi goes, why the fuck is she here? You would have been pissed if she didn't go. Layla already said
drama either way.
Right. Layla already said, this is for me. I'm friends with her. If she doesn't show, I'll be mad.
Yeah.
So why are you shocked? Like, you know, like, just because you wanted to be right and Whitney doesn't show up.
It's not your party.
Right.
Like,
I think Demi wanted to be right in the sense of like, oh, well, Whitney doesn't go to anything that makes her uncomfortable. Like, she wanted to be right so she could talk more shit about Whitney.
Yeah, yep.
And now that she showed up, she's like, why the fuck is she here?
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
And in an interview, Demi says that she's surprised Whitney's there, and it's very bold of her to show up after leaving the group chat and not confronting anyone. I'm like, okay, Demi, like, leave it alone. Jessi says that she's glad Whitney showed up, and she wants to give Whitney the chance to talk through her feelings. And Mayci says that she's surprised Whitney came, but she's happy that she's not running away from the group. Okay. So overall, everyone's pretty, like, happy that she did show up for Layla.
Except for Demi. Okay.
Whitney tells her husband that she feels weird and that everyone's looking at her, and then he goes, well, yeah, didn't you leave the group chat? And then she goes, yeah, I did. And then they start laughing. So it's kind of funny. Like, he's like calling her out on her own shit. Yeah. So he goes like, well, yeah, you did that. So like, here we are. Whitney in an interview said that she wanted to show up for Layla and be there for her. And she says that she's upset about what Jessi said on the girls' trip, and she wants to know why she said that. So she's referencing when Jessi said that Whitney uses people and then moves on. So once she gets what she needs out of that friendship, she'll like move on to someone else. So Whitney wants to address that tonight when the time allows. But Demi's husband asks Demi if she wants a photo, and Demi says yes, but she wants to acknowledge Whitney first before it gets weird. I'm like, Demi, it's already weird. So Demi goes up to the booth that Whitney is sitting at and just says hi, and it's like very awkward. And then they're trying to like open up a bottle that I'm assuming it's non-alcoholic because I know Whitney doesn't drink, but like it has what you probably should use a bottle opener for, and he's like trying to, you know, when you hit it on the edge, so he's trying to open that, and like Demi's just standing there staring at them. It's like so awkward. So finally someone goes to get the bottle opener. Layla makes her grand entrance, and she's wearing a black veil, and then she's wearing a sheer black skirt, and so underneath the black skirt is just like almost like a one piece coming up.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so you can see her full leg, but then she's like wearing like a black one piece coming up. Okay. It is very revealing. Like, she looks good, but I'm like, damn, like this girl, she went all out. Michaela says she's happy to see Layla so empowered and that she looks like she's ready to start her next chapter in life. Michaela says it makes her think about Taylor and the pressure she must be getting to get married because she's pregnant, and she hopes Taylor's taking care of herself.
Right, yeah.
So Michaela puts the 2 and 2 together that, like, Layla's situation reminds her a lot of what Taylor's going through, and that she hopes that Taylor's, like, thinking about herself first.
And it seems like Taylor is. So that's good.
Jordan, Jessi's husband, then introduces Layla to his friend Joe. Apparently Joe wants to take Layla out, and Demi and Mayci are over there. And they leave Layla to talk to Joe, and Demi in an interview says she's ecstatic for Layla and that since she's never had an orgasm before, I hope she never settles for a man that will not that will not sacrifice her happiness or pleasure. Girl, like, why did that need to get brought up? Like, the fuck? Like, I'm like, I don't understand, like, what goes through Demi's mind when she says some of this shit, and I'm like, what does that have to... She's at her divorce party,
like, let's let this party work its course before you try setting her up with people.
Yeah, like, it seems all very forced. I'm like, poor guy. So it cuts to Michaela, Mayci, and Whitney in a booth, and they're talking about how Whitney wants to know why Jessi said what she said. Mayci thought that Jessi apologized, and Whitney says no. So then Mayci goes, oh, so she clearly does feel like that if she didn't apologize. And Whitney says, yes, and I want to know why. Demi and Jessi then approach the table, and Jessi says, what's all the hot gossip? And that's when Whitney stands up and goes, oh, can you come with me? So Whitney pulls Jessi aside to have this conversation. And I did note there is drinking at this party, so Jessi is drinking wine. I couldn't see, I'm assuming maybe Demi was drinking a little bit, but Jessi definitely, she like says like, oh yeah, I'm drinking wine tonight.
Okay.
Whitney asked Jessi directly about the comment, and Jessi said that the comment was made from things she's observed from the group and things that she's heard. Whitney asked if the comments had been from everyone, and Jessi says yes. Jessi said that Jen and Layla have both felt that Whitney will be close to them and then drop them until she needs something again. Jessi said that she's not sure if it's coming from a vicious place, but she has had issues with everyone in the group, so she thinks where there's smoke, there's fire. Whitney pushes back and says that she doesn't have issues with everyone in the group, and she asks who else she's having issues with. Jessi only brings up Demi and Taylor.
Yeah, it's just those two, yeah.
So Whitney's like, I thought I was fine with everyone else. Like, I thought I was good with everyone else. And Whitney, like, looks very confused in this moment. Like, she honestly is, like, trying to figure... Like, you can see her processing the stuff that Jessi's telling her and being like, I wasn't under that impression.
Yeah.
And so Jessi asks what spawned the fight with Demi, and Whitney says it's because she told Jen how Demi felt about her. And Jessi goes, yeah, that's another problem because you're quick to tell people what other people are saying. And Whitney says, well, I don't think it's okay to call people too Mormon or white trash. So that's just
fair.
My opinion. And then Whitney says, and at first I was like, why are you bringing this up? Because it does prove Jessi's point. So she goes, and no one called me and asked if I was okay or why I left the group chat.
Okay.
She said everyone went to Mayci, and if people have an issue with why I left, they can call me. Which Demi said, if people have a problem with me, they should come to me.
Right.
Okay, so if you have a problem with Whitney, you should go to Whitney. Why are you calling Mayci?
Yeah. Yeah.
So kind of two-sided there. I was like, okay, that's a good point, Whitney. Jessi said it was passive-aggressive to leave the group chat, and she did ask, was leaving the group chat a test to see who would reach out? Whitney says no, she just needed to not see all that after the weekend because it was just a lot, and Jessi says that she understood. Whitney says that if someone else had left the group, she would have called to check in on them, and Jessi confirms and says, yeah, that's true because you are the person that typically reaches out. And Whitney says, yeah, and I don't want to anymore.
Oh.
And she goes, if you think I'm using you, then fuck you. I was like, good point. Like, Jessi confirmed, like, yeah, you're the one that reaches out to everyone.
Yeah, she reaches out. Okay.
So reach out to her to see if she's okay. Like, you know, like, that's a tiring place to be in.
Yeah. I mean, if this person's your friend, you should reach out.
Jessi tells Whitney that she knows things are tense right now, but her comments are based off what she's hearing from the whole group. And Jessi tells Whitney that, like, every single person in the group besides Mayci has talked shit about her. And then that's when Whitney was like, I feel like an idiot. And she goes, why? And she goes, because I didn't know that people had a problem with me. Like, I wasn't aware. I thought I knew who I had issues with. And clearly, like, people have thoughts about me that I didn't even know. And she goes, I just want to leave right now. And Jessi tells her, no, you can't leave. And I'm like, you just threw that pile of shit on her and like lit it on fire. Demi's seeing all of this go down, and she looks at her husband and goes, "Oh, Jessi and Whitney are getting into it, and Whitney's crying." And she goes, "But I don't need to insert myself into another conversation that I don't belong in. I'll find out later."
Well, that's a
Thank
first.
God. Like, learn your lesson.
I was waiting for you to tell me that she went over and
no.
just poured gasoline
She
on
definitely wanted to, though, and her husband was like, "Yeah, that's a good idea. Like, let's not do that."
Yeah, you'd always do that, so maybe once you don't.
Whitney, in an interview, says that she feels like what Jessi said to her was intentionally trying to hurt her. Like, it wasn't like a, "I care about you, like, let's have a conversation." She felt like Jessi was trying to hurt Whitney. And so she was like, it stung and it didn't feel great. And then, like, it cuts to, like, Demi making a speech, and then Whitney leaves right after that.
Okay.
But it kind of looked like they were all saying bye anyway, so I don't know if that was part of the editing. Like, they're like, "Oh, Whitney left abruptly," but, like, the rest of them, like, were saying bye to one another, too.
Okay, yeah.
So it might have just been an editing thing, but Mayci in an interview says she's not sure what Jessi said to make Whitney leave so abruptly, but she hopes that Whitney's, like, okay.
Oh, jeez.
And she's nervous about the future. So that ends the divorce party, Whitney leaving, and they're not sure, like, what happened between Jessi and Whitney. Cuts to Taylor's house for the Mayci Dakota conversation.
Oh, okay. So they're meeting up. They're going to talk.
Mm-hmm. Mayci kept her word. She stopped by.
That's good.
So Taylor tells Dakota that Macy's coming over, and Dakota asks if he should leave. And Taylor was like, "No."
She's coming over to talk to you.
Dakota is not feeling this. He says he's not going to start anything, but if she wants to start something, he'll respond. And Taylor says she just wants them to talk.
Okay.
Taylor doesn't think that they'll ever be friends, but she does want them to get to a point of being civil and being on the same page.
Yeah,
because,
that's fair. Like, yeah, they don't have to be best friends,
Right.
but, like, they need to get along.
Right. So Mayci comes in, Dakota opens the door, she gives him a half hug. Like, they're civil.
Okay.
So, like, in my head, I'm like, they're already civil. She's bringing, like, a little gift basket of her, like, products to Taylor. So she brings that, drops it off, and then they're sitting on the couch. It's, like, really awkward to start the conversation. Dakota's, like, looks at Taylor and was like, "Are you going to say what you want to say?" And she goes, "Say what?" And then, like, Macy's like, "I'm so confused." And then Taylor goes, "I just think we all need to have a combo." So Mayci was like, "No, I agree." And so she starts the conversation.
Okay.
So Mayci says that part of her problem is that she sees similarities between Dakota and Taylor and Dakota's relationship that she's, like, experienced in the past. So she is saying, "I had a past abusive relationship, and I'm just seeing red flags from what Taylor has told me that kind of trigger me because I've experienced that."
Yeah.
And so she goes, "I'm not calling you an abuser." And he goes, "Okay, thank you."
That's a lot to say to somebody.
Yeah. And she goes, "I just want to make that clear. I'm not calling you an abuser. It's just what Taylor has told me and the things I've seen or observed." And then the text messages, like, she, like, references, like, a wedding that they went to, and Taylor showed her the text messages. She goes, "The things that I see to me are red flags and not okay. Like, that's not okay. And that might be me just, like, projecting my past onto this, but I want to make sure that she's okay if something bad is happening."
Yeah.
So Dakota says that he hopes that she wants the best for both of them, and Mayci goes, "Yes, I do." And she goes, "It's hard for him because she's telling Taylor to be done with him, and that puts a wedge in the relationship," which I can see. Mm-hmm. So, like, he's saying, like, to me, you are telling her not to be with me, which makes it hard for me to work on this relationship.
Yeah, yeah.
So it seemed like they were coming to, like, almost an agreement of, like, okay, I can't tell her not to be with you, but, like, I can listen to her and be there for her, but just so you know, like, I'm keeping an eye on this because I don't want her to experience what I've been through.
Yeah.
And then Taylor admits that she's still struggling with trust with Dakota, and she knows Dakota wants her to be ready for marriage, but she's not there yet. And Taylor starts getting very emotional. I'm assuming hormones are raging right now with her being pregnant. But she explains that Dakota wasn't truthful at the beginning of their relationship, and that has led to a lot of doubt, and she's still angry with him. So she says she doesn't feel good enough because, like, you know, like, that whole, like, when someone cheats on you or someone lies to you, like, then you're not good enough. Like, why did they go like hook up with that girl instead of like being with me. Like, so I'm not good enough. So she constantly has this self-doubt that she's not good enough because he went, and it comes out that the day before he slept with her for the first time, he slept with a different girl.
Okay.
Then slept with her all week and then left her and slept with a different girl.
Jeez.
Mayci's face in the interview, she goes, I was thrown off. There's a lot of effing going on. Like, so Mayci's like, I came here to hash it out with Dakota, and now I'm listening to them fight. Like, they're fighting. And so Mayci's like, I feel like I shouldn't be here for this. Like, I came to make sure me and Dakota are good and me and Taylor are good, and now I'm just listening to all their relationship issues. She goes, this is a lot. Like, I should not be here for that.
Yeah, so, but she's looking out for the relationship issues, so now she knows a little more.
Well, still, like, it's like, you can only know so much. Like, at some point, you have to be like, this is between...
Yeah.
The trust issue should not be a Mayci looking out for Taylor.
Yeah.
That's not, like, abusive, right? Like, that is working on your relationship together without third-party input. And so Macy's face was like, how do I leave? Like, how do I get up and leave? That was the face I was getting. Dakota feels like Taylor's self-sabotaging the relationship by holding on to that beginning. He goes, I don't understand what you want from me. And Dakota says that Taylor told him that he should go hook up with other girls when they just started talking. So he goes, when we first started talking, you said, I don't care, just don't tell me. And I guess Taylor was like, well, the night, though, that I asked you to hang out, you sent a photo of you and the boys, and you said, I'm hanging out with the boys, and then you left and went hooked up with a girl. So her point is that he lied.
Yeah, he lied.
And he goes, I don't understand why that part is the issue. And she goes, yeah, that's why it's still a problem, because you don't understand.
Yeah.
And he was like, why are we having a baby then? Which is a good point, because like Taylor said in an interview that they wanted it.
Yeah.
So if she had all these issues still, then why get pregnant?
Yeah.
Because she's like, well, like, I don't have to get married to someone. He goes, then what's the point of this? So they are definitely not on the same page. Taylor does not want to get married and doesn't trust him yet. She's having his baby. He wants to get married and wants to work on this and feel like Taylor, like, because Taylor's like, I'm here, I'm in this relationship. Like, that's what she considers working on it. And Dakota's like, you can be in a relationship and not work on it and not be present. And that's what's happening, is that you're just in this relationship and we're going nowhere.
Yeah.
And so it ends on that note.
Jeez, so much for Mayci coming over and hashing it out with
She's probably like, I'm never coming back over this place.
Jeez.
It does show next week's episode, and Mayci, I think it's Michaela and Demi. It's definitely Demi. And Mayci goes, I know something, and I think it's about Taylor. And she goes, I have to tell someone because I need to get it off the chest. So she tells, they don't show what she says, but Demi is like walking through like, so if you don't tell her, like, she has his baby, they potentially get married, they do. So like Demi is being the voice of reason of like, maybe you should go talk to her like about this. So something next week is going to come out.
Something big coming up.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
Along with strippers in Vegas and all,
I know.
all
I thought
stuff.
the last week episode ended with some Vegas like.
It did. But it was like
that's next.
Okay. They go to Vegas for Layla's birthday. So Layla's having a grand old time. She's getting divorced.
Oh, the divorce funeral party now.
She's going to Vegas for her birthday.
Damn, nice.
Has a stripper in her face. She's just really enjoying life. So
I guess we'll talk about all that next week in this new drama.
Yeah. Well, thanks everyone for joining.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Reality Hits Matt. Reality Hits MAT. Be sure to comment, like, follow, download, rate, all those great things that you can do to help us out on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.